Good morning. So today's our new theme is Lesson 3, Idioms that comment on people. My name is Sivara Yugashva. So previous lesson we will talk about idioms and their classification of idioms. So in this lesson we will speak about idioms that comment on people. Comment on people. Let's look through 30 idioms that about people. The first one is pain in the neck, an irritating, annoying person. Example, Sarah is such a pain in the neck these days. Next, a people person, an outgoing person who gets along with people really well and is a good listener. Example, Tom is enthusiastic and positive and he is a people person. Or in other words, it is a very easygoing and outgoing person. What do you think? What kind of idiom now we will describe? Look at this picture. Look at this picture. In this picture, this woman, I think, like very much parties. Yeah, let's look through. So, third idiom is party animal. Party animal, someone who likes to attend parties often. Example, are you going out again tonight? You are such a party animal. Next, cold fish. Cold fish, someone who has very little emotions, who is regarded as hard-hearted and unfeeling. Example, John said nothing at all when I told him about my problems. He is a cold fish. Next, dark horse. Someone who has greater abilities than he shows or than other people are aware of. Example, I didn't know Nick could play the guitar so well. He's a real dark horse. So, our next idiom is lone wolf. Someone who prefers his own company and doesn't like socializing. We can also say a lone bird. Example, Jack became a real lone wolf since his wife passed away last year. He never goes out. Or another meaning is a lone wolf, someone who is not very sociable and prefers to be alone. Nerd, someone who is very interested in science or technology, particularly in computers. Example, he spends all weekends at his laptop. He is such a nerd. Moaning Minnie. Moaning Minnie, a person who complains a lot about insignificant things. Example, oh, stop being a moaning Minnie. Just concentrate on your homework. Happy camper. Happy camper, a person who is always happy and satisfied. Happy camper is often used in the negative. The apartment was much smaller than I expected. I was not a happy camper. Smart cookie. Somebody who has got a strong personality or is quite smart. Example, Katie is such a smart cookie. She can make any project a success. In your group, there are a lot of such kind of smart cookies, I think. Next idiom, wet blanket. Wet blanket, a person who ruins other people's fun by staying pessimistic and complaining all the time. Example, Katie is so negative about everything. She's such a wet blanket. We can meet such kind of person in our daily life. Chatterbox. I think you know this idiom very well. Chatterbox, a person who talks a lot. Example, my son always gets detentions in school for talking in class. He's such a chatterbox. Crank, a person whose behavior or way of life is regarded as strange. We can also say an oddball, fish, bird, or a weirdo, very informal. For example, Peter never eats green vegetables. He thinks they make him sleepy. He is such a crank. Rolling stone. Rolling stone, a person who moves from place to place, job to job, without staying anywhere long. My brother was a rolling stone until he met his wife. Next idiom is rough diamond. Rough diamond, someone who seems impolite or is not well educated, but who has a kind heart and good character. Example, Mike may be a rough diamond, but he is kind and always willing to help. Next idiom is very interesting and life and soul of the party. Someone who is energetic and good fun during social occasions. It was a great night. Jim was life and soul of the party. Down to earth. Down to earth, someone who is practical and close to reality and who accepts other people as equals. Example, despite his wealth, he was a down-to-earth man. He was very generous and had a kind heart. Look at this picture. What do you think? What kind of idiom? Now I'll talk you. If we look at this picture, this man is very shy and strange. May be afraid of something. Let's look. Weak. Weak, a weak person, someone who lacks confidence. Example, I always avoid confrontations. I'm such a weak. Golden boy, a winning person that everyone is fond of. Example, Ray Wilkins was a golden boy of English football. Bunny Boiler, a girl who behaves improperly after relationship breakup. This expression comes from the film Fatal Attraction, in which the character kills and boils her ex-boyfriend's family pet rabbit. Slave driver, someone who makes other people to work really hard. Example, my boss is such a slave driver. I had to work 2 weekends in a row. Early bird, a person who wakes up, arrives to work another before the usual time. This expression comes from the English proverb, the early bird catches the worm. Example, my mom is the early bird in our family. She gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Next, tearaway. Tearaway, a person who behaves in a stupid or wild manner and frequently gets into trouble. Example, Jake was a bit of tearaway in a secondary school, always getting into trouble. Busybody, a person who expresses great interest in other people's private lives. Example, my next door neighbor is a real busybody. I think all of us have such kind of busybody neighbor in our street. Next, Scrooge. Scrooge, a miserable person who hates spending money. This expression comes from a character in A Christmas Carol novel by Charles Dickens. Example, my last boss was a real Scrooge. For years, we never received a Christmas bonus. Next, daydreamer. Someone who is having dreamlike thoughts when they should be focusing on the present. Example, I have always been a bit of a daydreamer in school. Skyver, someone who is absent from school or work without a good reason. We can also say someone who is pulling a sickie. Example, he didn't bother to turn up for work on Monday. He's a skyver. Clock watcher, someone who has no interest on the current activity and keeps watching the time. Example, I had to be a clock watcher, but I can't wait to get out of here. Big mouth, someone who is not able to keep a secret. Example, never tell her a secret. She has got a really big mouth. Next item, creep, a nasty person, someone who is trying to impress higher authority. Example, What a creep this guy. This guy is. So it is the end of our. It is the last idiom that comment on people. There is given some exercises about people, idioms about people. So the first one is, here are some common idioms about people. Can you match the right term with the right description? So there is given 12 idioms, 12 idioms and 12 definitions. You can match them. I think it's clear the task. And next exercise. So here is given true false exercise, and also circle the correct person, and if you were a, what would you do? You should complete these sentences. For example, what would you do if you were a night owl? So dears, it is the end of our video lesson. I think today's new idioms about people is clearly to you. If you have got any questions or any misunderstandings, you can contact me. Don't forget to do all the tasks on the Moodle platform. And thank you for your attention. The lesson is over. Goodbye.